Hi, welcome back. We're going to do a session on bobbin tension. Bobbin tension is very, very important. It's the foundation of all of our tension, because once we've set our bobbin tension, we've only got to think about the top tension and adjusting that either tighter or looser. So it reduces the number of variables that we're playing with by setting the bobbin tension first. By doing it consistently, you will find that you get very good results, and with a bit of practice you'll have no problem with your tension. So we've got some big bobbin case for the Simply 16 and all the Handi quilter machines. We have the M size bobbin case. You'll find that if you go back to a domestic machine after using this, that they feel really, really small bobbins. It's a tried and tested rotary hook bobbin. It has a latch door at the front, which you use to remove the bobbin from the bobbin assembly. And it's also got a spring on the outside, a tension spring. On the inside, you've got a backlash spring. This backlash spring is designed to offer you more consistent tension if you're going very, very fast and then you go much slower or come to a complete stop. What can happen is that because the bobbin has been rotating so quickly, without a backlash spring, you might find it continues to rotate. And the effect is that after that, it's unwound some of the bobbin. That loose thread is now at a different tension than the rest of the bobbin that you so carefully wound on your bobbin winder. So the backlash spring is intended to reduce the problems caused by sudden stopping and starting. And backlash spring, it's a blue sprung steel. And we have two makes of bobbin case, Serliani and Koban, which are Italian and a Japanese make. And I'll point you in the direction in the description for YouTube. I'll point you in the direction of the PDF, which explains the differences between, there's actually 3 versions of bobbin case that apply to the Handi quilter machines. The newer ones just have a choice of one with the backlash spring that looks a bit like this. If you need more backlash springs, perhaps it decides to go on a little vacation and jumps out and suddenly you can't find it, we have more of them, and they're available on our website at handiquilter.co.uk. So for the big bobbin case, obviously we've got big bobbins, and the big bobbins, you can either have the ones that come with the machine. We supply 6 of these with your new Handi quilter, and more of these are available, and more recently some new purple ones will be coming in. And they'll be available, no doubt, by the time I've put this up on YouTube. This aluminium bobbin case, it's a very soft material aluminium, so you do have to be a little cautious. We don't want you to overwind the bobbin. And there's a whole session on YouTube, one of the videos I've done, on winding your bobbin, setting up the bobbin case. So refer to that for how you set the automatic shut-off for winding a bobbin. The bobbin, it's very important that the tension is not too spongy and also not too tight. If you find that when you put your bobbin onto a flat surface, if it looks like the outer edges of this are bent in any way, discard the bobbin. It's not going to do you any favours, and you'll probably find that you get erratic tension, which is not what you want. You might find that you have your own erratic tension as a result. So this is wound with Glide 40 weight, so it's a good match for our top thread. I've put some contrasting thread because we're going to do some test stitches in the next session. So this pink bobbin thread, it goes into your bobbin case. Make sure that between every bobbin change, between every change of the bobbin, that you are cleaning out not only the hook assembly, but also the bobbin case itself. So just be a bit careful with the backlash spring. You can catch it if you're not careful. And we also want to use a business card just to remove any fluff. I've used Helen Godden's here. She's got a very nice session on bobbin tension for sit-down people. So if you haven't been introduced to Helen Godden, helengodden.com. You can see more of Helen on her site. So what we want to do is just pop Helen's business card underneath this outer spring. Don't use anything sharp like a pin. And if there's any fluff underneath there, it can really affect your tension. And we have had instances where it's really created a lot of problems for somebody by not checking underneath that spring. So if you've been using a particularly linty thread, perhaps a cotton thread that throws off a lot of lint, you might find there's a lot of lint around not only the needle bar assembly, in the hook assembly, but also under the bobbin spring. Then use your business card to remove it. Once you've done that, and every bobbin change, we're going to be also clearing out inside this area here with the supplied brush. So make sure you get all your fluff out. and you've applied also a dot of the oil. You get a long dispenser for your oil with the machine, and you want every single bobbin change, you want a dot of oil just at the bottom of the bobbin assembly, just there. So once you've oiled your machine and you've cleaned it for every bobbin change, you're ready to load and test your bobbin. Now, on the subject of bobbin tension, even if you've loaded up 3 bobbins identically at the same time, always test your bobbin tension. There is no substitute. Put it into the bobbin case like so. So the pink thread is coming off clockwise. I put it into my bobbin case, and I normally hold it so that the little slot, the tiny slot, not the big hole, the tiny slot is at 12 o'clock, and I pop it in like that because it's very easy for me just to pull that thread to the side, to the left, and under the spring. Once it's under the spring, hold the bobbin case in your hand with the bobbin uppermost. And you should find, because of that backlash spring, that the bobbin in the bobbin case is just proud of the bobbin case, but then when you push your finger down on it, it just goes to either level or just below the edge of the bobbin case. If it doesn't, you may have a bent bobbin. To do the bobbin test, what we call the drop test, hold it in the palm of your hand like this, and then take the end of the thread and just pull upright. And you should find that it just either, if you pull it quickly, it just goes up. Just put that back in. And it's very much like, if anybody's ever read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, you start again if it falls out. And we're just going to pop that up like this. Now you should find that that runs nice and smoothly. I've got 3 here. This is a bit of a Blue Peter job, 3 I did earlier. So this has got a pre-wound bobbin in the bobbin case. It's one like this, which is a deco bob. It's an 80 weight thread, and they're pre-wounds. When we put them in, we normally strip off about 20 arms lengths because they tend to be a little overwound. So this one, if we just test this one, look, that's too tight. And this one is really, really loose. I can only just about move it. And this one should be just right. It's like the 3 bears. So to check it, what you should be able to do is pull it upright, and then if you take your hand away, it just gently moves down. It feels like there's a little bit of tension on there, but not so much that it stays up and you have to wiggle it. It shouldn't be like a spider on a thread that you have to do this. So just to run through that again, let's just see what would happen if I increase the tension on my pink thread, the one I did first, by 10 minutes of the clock face. And you see what happens here. Nothing. So that's just 10 minutes. The amount of adjustment on the bobbin tension is really quite small. So if you adjust it back by 5 minutes, let's just see, and also just pull a little bit out, because sometimes it can get stuck if you've adjusted it. I'm going to change it and just loosen it off by another 5 minutes, so we should be back to pretty much where we started. That's stuck. Let me just loosen that a little bit more. There we go. So that now is running smoothly. And if I were to loosen it off by the 10 minutes of a clock face, I can't move it. It's just hardly coming out of my hand. So that's how we adjust the bobbin tension. I'm just going to put it back to the correct tension, which is 10 minutes stronger, and just double check it. There we go, that's perfect. And now I've got that bobbin in the bobbin case, I can load it into my machine. To load the bobbin into the machine, what you need to do is keep the latch door closed. It should be pointing at 3 o'clock of a clock face, and just keep the bobbin case just tilted slightly back so the bobbin doesn't fall out, and just put it in, and it's a big click.